Have you ever played Sonic R? If so, then there's a possibility that a small amount you've heard of a character called the Tails doll. I've heard a lot of stories from the internet, from my friend circle, and even from some random people. But here's one that I've heard from my best friend. We'll call him Kyle. A man came home from work late with a gift for his son. He had picked up the new game from the Sonic series. It was called Sonic R. It was a racing game. He gave the gift to his son not long after he arrived home. He was so excited to get it and play it right away. That night he played the game with his son, and they had a blast of a time. A couple days later, the boy was almost finished with the game. His dad was there in his room when he beat the game, and the last boss. They roared with excitement when they finally did it. He smiled and asked him how he liked the game as he watched the credits roll. What's that? He asked the boy. When the Tails doll appeared on the screen, the boy simply chuckled and said, "It's the Tails doll. That's all I know." Soon after, he told his son it was late and that it's time for bed. During the night, the curious father went into the boy's room and turned on the TV very quietly to play the game for a while for himself. He noticed that he had the option to play as the Tails doll. He chose him to tag up with some of the gang. The game was fun, or at least that was the case up until he tagged Sonic. The screen glitched for a moment and then went to black. The game system shut itself down, and the father decided that it was late. It was time for him to go to sleep, since he had work in the morning. So he crept out of his son's room and shut the door as quietly as he could, and then went to bed to lay with his wife. At around 2 in the morning, he woke up when he heard thumps on his door. He assumed it was his son getting up to ask him to get something. He told the boy to stop, go back to bed. However, the thumping kept happening, and at one point he noticed a little shadow coming from under the door. Tails was the only name that kept popping into his head. He got out of bed and slowly opened the door. Then he heard someone say very softly, "You are coming with me, forever." It appeared to be a doll, an evil, blood-covered, possessed little doll. It was the Tails doll. It had to be. My friend then later told me that that was the last the father was ever seen of. His family were also likewise missing.